Okay.
Right. So of course, we heard that some consumers had a problem with when dropping this from a higher distance or from a greater height or from a certain orientation, that we were having problems with the lid breaking. So even though the product was in compliance with all the recognized safety standards, we felt like we wanted to try to do the best we could to address the issue.
Right.
So the way that we did that was we changed the composition of the polypropylene material to add a little bit more TPE to make it a little bit more flexible.
Add a little more what?
TPE, which is
Yeah,
polyethylene. Yeah. So to make it a little bit more flexible. The challenge was that when you get into really hot environments, like maybe 180 degrees in the back of a car or something, then you might get a little bit of deformity of the plastic. So there's sort of an engineering trade-off there, right? You can't kind of hit that highest 99 percentile of the standard, but effectively what we were able to do was make it so that when the product was dropped from different orientations and higher heights, when it was full, you didn't have the breakage problem. So we addressed that really based on your concerns and the concerns specifically of your bloggers. So we felt like, even though we felt like the first time around we had made a product that was a great product and within the compliance of the tests, we wanted to kind of try to address those issues. So we put the challenge to the R&D team, and they came back with these changes.
And so those changes apply to the lid as well as the base?
The lid as well as the base.
Okay.
So you have the same with both materials, and then some of the other changes that we made just relate to the gate area within here. You can see that you can still kind of pop the lid off, but you see as I do that, you have a little more flexibility in the lid, so you don't have as much maybe a propensity for the breakage when you do it from a strange orientation. And then we bulked up the PSI on the pull test on the button as well to, I think it's more than 150 PSI. I'd have to check on that.
And what is that? What's the effect of that?
Just to make it put it to an even higher standard, so that it wouldn't break, and also a child couldn't pull this button off somehow. So we did both of those things. It still works the same way in terms of the cleaning, where you just have one gasket.
Yeah, it's great the way you've evolved this part of the design over the last few years.
And then essentially the Fugo phases is really meant to grow with your child. So all the lids are interchangeable across both the stainless steel vacuum product and the Triton product, which is our new addition to the line. The Triton material is all BPA free. It's from Eastman, and it's the same material we use in our intake by Thermos bottles that we've been manufacturing. These shells are actually manufactured in the United States in our Batesville, Mississippi facility. So you can see where all these different lids will fit on any configuration. So if your child really still needed handles, but you wanted to move them into the straw trainer, you could do that by just changing the lid. And this lid works both on steel vac and Triton, which is kind of a nice benefit and a value, I think, for parents.
Do you sell the straws separately in
we'll
2 or 3 packs?
Sell the straws separately.
Something if you're going to use them in the straw
Right. We sell the straws separately.
Oh, but I see that's the same height already.
Yeah. Correct.
And this is just a spacer in case you're not using the handles?
Yeah, and it's just kind of like a beauty ring when you're not using the handles, but even if you took that off,
it would still fit.
It would still seal.
Okay.
And so it's all the same material, all the same polypropylene with the same composition that we talked about.
So did your new drop testing encompass dropping on the lid and dropping on the base?
Yes.
At higher, whatever?
Yes, at much higher onto the hard surfaces. So,
what's the hardest surface that you test on or that you drop on? I mean, is tile harder than concrete?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know the answer to that. Our R&D folks could answer that, but I can get back to you on that.
Yeah, okay.
I know it's to the hard surface. I know generally it's wood and slate. I don't know if there's anything in between those two. And so this is Fugo Phases. The other thing to note about the Phases line is if you feel this cup and you feel the you know, even the Triton cup, the sippy cup, feel both of those. Feel how lightweight that is.
I was gonna say, has the thickness of your steel on this? Have you thinned it out a little
Yeah,
bit
we have
to make it lighter?
we have a thin wall technology that we use. It's still the same vacuum performance.
So it's still 2 layers.
Yes, still double wall vacuum, so it still has the same performance. You know, but we felt like you know, taking some of the weight out of it was important, and one of the things again that consumers asked for. And also, it's just 2 pieces now, and it's a little easier to put that together. We want the pieces always to come apart so that they're easier to clean. But when you pop this back in there, it goes together, you know, much easier, and orients on the product, is able to plot on the product easier as well. And since the handles spin and slide, you can orient them any way you want, and then tighten it down so you're not limited. So we tried to address all the concerns that we were hearing from the first generation product, and so we thank everybody for their input.
Cool.